Hi Gemini, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your March 2022 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic crossbred as always, and I'll also pull the 4 agreements, Oracle card, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. So let's see what we get. Alright. We have 2, so that's your second house of possession, self-worth, finances, and for you guys, that's Cancer energy. Nothing really going on there, astrologically speaking. Alright, we have Jupiter, and Jupiter is actually in Pisces, which is your 10th house of career, social status. And we have Aquarius, which for you guys is your 9th house of philosophy, higher learning, foreign affairs. And let's see, quite a bit of energy will be in Aquarius through March. Around the second week, Mars and Venus get there around the same time. Mercury's going to be there for the first week and a half or so before it moves into Pisces. So yeah, definitely going to be a lot going on. And then of course we have Saturn there as well. So plenty of energy going on in the 9th house for you guys. Alright, so we'll keep that all in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, a lot of cards came up. We have the 4 of Wands, Aries energy, the Lovers, which is the major arcana card for your sign, the High Priestess, I usually view it as Pisces energy, and the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter, which also came up in your dice. So, whole lot here, but definitely positive energies. Now, really what I'm seeing with this primarily could just be saying that you might have some successes coming through for you guys. Could have been something that might have taken a long time for it to come to fruition as well, but I feel like this is saying that you guys probably kept the faith that the work you'd put in would be rewarded. Possibly even keeping it under wraps to a certain extent as well, right? Not necessarily putting out front that this is what you're working on or what your goals were around a certain situation. And with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like that's just saying that the timing was right, so for the work that you have put in, now it could just be coming to fruition for you guys. Timing-wise, for some of you, I will say this might take until we get a little bit into April when we actually see the sun move into these degrees of Aries. But yeah, this definitely looks like at the very least, sometime during Aries season, you'll be seeing some outward appearance of these goals actually coming to fruition. Alright, in the challenger obstacle position, we have the 5 of Wands, Leo energy, the Devil, Capricorn energy, and 9 of Pentacles, Virgo energy. So really what I'm seeing with these things, especially given that for you guys, Leo is the 3rd house communication, I feel like this is saying that regarding whatever this goal is that you might be reaching, there could be some people who might have some negative things to say about it, right? And try to drag you into that more negative side of the energy. So if we look at that in comparison to the Lovers, there's some obvious similarities there, right? But obviously some differences too. So I feel like this is saying, you might have some people in your environment who want to just drag you back down into some lower vibrational energy, but I feel like this is saying the challenge there is for you to just try to remain detached from all that. This is Virgo energy, which you guys is your 4th house, home, family, your roots. So it could just be saying, the best bet would be to just detach from that, maybe spend a little bit of time away, relax at home if you need to, right? But I feel like even just get out in nature. I feel like this is saying, by all means, try to avoid getting dragged into that level of energy if you can. Alright, in the foundation position, we have the Hierophant. So more Taurus energy here, and this could be pointing to the faith that we were talking about there, where, maybe this was something you've worked on for a long time, maybe you weren't seeing outward evidence of it actually working out in your favor, but now it looks like it will actually be shown in the outward appearance this month. And it could just be saying, along with that though, in the same way you kept the faith of this goal coming to fruition for you guys, that you should try to avoid getting dragged down into that lower energy for anyone who might be, jealous or whatever the case may be around the situation. So that's what I'm seeing with that. And even just trusting that whatever this conflict may be, that it would be worked out in your favor anyway, without you really having to engage in it directly. Alright, in the past position, we have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So the ace energies usually represent fresh opportunities, but usually they do still require action, right? I always point out how with this deck in particular, we always see the hands coming out of the cloud, which to me represents, it could be ideas for things, but there still needs to be action taken around it. So this could just be saying that you might have come up across some ideas recently, and maybe now you're actually seeing the work that you put toward those ideas playing out for you guys. So for example, maybe it was some kind of creative project that you figured out a way that you could actually turn it into tangible rewards as well. So it could be something as simple as that. But yeah, it looks like you had some new opportunities coming your way in the past. All right. In the present position, we have the Empress. So usually I view this as more the Taurus side of the Venus energy versus the Libra energy, but it could be either. But yeah, with this, I view this almost as an extension of what we were talking about with the Nine of Pentacles there, which is to say, try to detach, maybe get out in nature if you need to. Just, avoid the fray of people. So, for example, it could even be as simple as maybe, let's just give a super generic example. If there's like a career opportunity, right? And maybe it's in a very competitive field, and you might throw your name into consideration for the position, and then you might have people who are really going over the top to try to get the position, right? And you're just like, you know what, I'm going to let my work stand for itself. I'm not really going to engage in all that extra stuff. And it could just be saying that could work out in your favor this month. But yeah, either way, I feel like this is saying that the call is definitely for you guys to actually sit back, relax, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. In the near future position, we have the Hangman. So I usually view this as Pisces energy as well. So yeah, for some of you, this could definitely be some kind of a career opportunity. But beyond that, this could also just be saying that this might not be the best time for you to exert yourselves too much either. I think of that as like the sun in the background there, and if we think about it coming back across, back up upon the horizon, so it could just be saying that as we're waiting for spring to start, at least in the northern hemisphere, right, it could just be saying that the best thing to do is to just sit back a little bit, strategize, maybe think about what your next plan would be. But yeah, I don't see a real need for you guys to push things too much this month. And with all the energy going on in your ninth house that we talked about, which came up in the dice for one, but like we said, we have Saturn there, Mars will be there, and Venus will be there pretty much from the second week through the rest of the month. So plenty of energy in your ninth house. So that could be a type of transit that makes you think of things from a different angle as well. And speaking of which, I didn't even realize at the bottom of the deck we also have the star card, so more Aquarius energy there too. So yeah, could just be one of those things where you're starting to see things from a higher perspective now. All right, in the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is actually Capricorn energy here, and to me this represents an openness toward collaboration, right? So we had the Venus retrograde in Capricorn recently, the Mercury retrograde started in Aquarius, but then it also went into Capricorn, so there could have been a lot of reevaluation around that, right? Maybe around collaboration, investment, right? How best to invest your time, energy, resources, possibly even your money, right? But it looks like you are in a position where you do feel like you're comfortable to collaborate, but it could just be a matter of making sure you're doing so with the right people, right? All right. In the environment position, we have the Emperor. So I could see this playing out two different ways. If this is someone else, could just be saying that, if you have someone who's set in their ways, it looks like your work's going to stand for itself anyway, so you don't really need to go all out of your way to try to win this person over or anything like that. But also, I feel like this could be pointing to the energy that you might be asked to engage in this moment as well, which is to be sure of yourself, right? And yes, the Emperor's not one who would avoid conflict necessarily, but they also won't engage in like petty little squabbles either, right? You know what I mean? That's not, the Emperor has bigger things on their mind, bigger goals in mind, than to engage in like a Five of Wands type of energy. So it could just be saying that that's something to keep in mind too. Understand where you are, right, where your standing is, and understand that you would probably have more to lose than someone who's coming from a Five of Wands position. So that's what I see with that. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the King of Pentacles. So for the majority of you, I'm assuming this is a hope, and if anything, this points to maybe you've had that desire to relax for a bit, right? So like I said, I do feel like there's been work being done behind the scenes for quite some time, and like I said, it looks like even if you weren't seeing evidence of it in your external environment. I feel like you were keeping the faith, but part of you was still thinking, okay, it'd be nice if these things could finally come to fruition sometime, right? So I feel like this is more of a wish of yours, but given that we do see the Empress card in particular, and all the cards that we saw in the main situation position, it looks like you will actually have the opportunity to be able to rest and enjoy the fruits of your labor this month. All right. And in the outcome position, we have the 10 of Wands. So this is Sagittarius energy here. Now, usually I don't necessarily view this as a positive energy. This could point to taking on too much, right? Now, for some of you, if you truly do feel like you're toward the very end of a goal, right, then this might represent that final push for you guys. But what I would say with this is it could just be saying try to resist the urge to take on too much, right? And again, especially given that Sagittarius is a natural ruler of the ninth house, and there's going to be so much going on in your ninth house, astrologically speaking, which we already talked about. Could just be pointing that out there, to say make sure you're not taking on too much. What always stands out to me with the artwork in this deck in particular is the way he's carrying those wands. I don't even know if you could see the way forward, right? So it could be one of those things where you could take on so much that you might lose sight of the overall goal. But yeah, for some of you might even be taking these experiences to fuel the fire, right? So to help you build your next thing. So in a more positive sense, this could be a good thing. But yeah, I would say just be careful around overworking yourself or just taking on too many things at once. All right, well, we already spoke about the bottom of the deck, so we'll move on to your 4 agreements card. And you guys have don't make assumptions, discern the truth. So let's see what it says. Okay, it says the problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, then we react by sending emotional poison with our word. This creates a whole big drama for nothing. So if nothing else, this message definitely would say that even if you might feel like there's a 5 of Wands conflict coming your way, maybe that even could be a misunderstanding, right? So it could just be saying that the best thing in that regard as well would just be to detach from it and not even bother engaging in something that could be perceived as a conflict this month, but hopefully that resonated overall. All right, moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have To Be Fair. There's the artwork, and the number is 38, so we'll see what that has to say. Okay, it says balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. The Oracle's message: life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing, yet over time they strike a balance. You move from being, from stasis, to doing, from discovering, to loving, to letting go, to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause, there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. So, pretty positive message there. And it could be as simple as that, right? If we want to simplify the message of what I was talking about earlier, it could just be saying where you've been in a big cycle of doing and how you could shift over to the being, right? Because all the work that you have put in, it's actually going to play out to where you can take a little bit of time away, but hopefully that resonated. The relationship message says, can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is a time for listening as well as speaking, for understanding as well as asking to be understood. There is much to be learned, and you will learn it if you remain open and objective, weighing options and considering all sides. Your heart wants to connect to others, so allow for a balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is one in which there is mutual benefit and each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all. So definitely an interesting message there, and I will say if this is a romantic relationship type of dynamic, which I really didn't pick up in this reading, which you might have noticed as well, but if it is, I would say with the 3 of Pentacles energy we see in your position, it looks like you would be open to that type of collaborative effort, right? Taking input from both sides. Person in your environment, maybe not so much, right? But just keep that in mind. I don't necessarily see them coming across as negative, but they definitely might be a bit more set in your ways than you appear to be this month. So just keep that in mind. And worst case, the love readings will probably be out within the next week. So you could keep an eye out for those too. All right. The prosperity message says, now is a time for even exchanges. Justice will prevail and you will be treated accordingly. In all your affairs, you will be able to negotiate fair settlements. Mutual gain is the gift to you and your partners and colleagues. This is also a good time to square your finances and take stock of how you're compensated for your work. This card signifies balance, justice, and negotiations, so remember that all things must be fairly recompensed. Keep this as your truth, and so it will be. So pretty positive message there, and again, that goes back to what I was saying, where it looks like you've put in your fair share of work, and now you actually start to see tangible rewards for that work playing out in your environment. Alright, so lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. This is your mudra here. It's the Kamajay Mudra, and the keyword for it is restraint. Alright. I don't think we could comfortably fit everything in the frame, so what I'll do is try to get to focus again. And alright, there we go. So hold it here for a second if you want to pause it, take a screenshot to read what it has to say. And we'll move it up to get the rest of the stuff into the frame as well. But yeah, under benefits, it says restrains the outflow of excess passion and sexual desire, causes sexual energy to turn inward and upward, thereby assisting the practice of meditation, strengthens digestion, assimilation, and elimination. So if that sounds like a mudra you think may be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.